Hey guys, welcome to Shay's Crew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. It is Monday. Actually, it's Tuesday, the 27th of August. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I definitely did. Y'all, I went to Lucky Day's concert yesterday and had so much fun, y'all. The only thing, though, is that I did not, my daughter paid for a meet and greet. And I got to the concert, y'all. Got in a line, got through and all of that. Went up to the desk, asked them what time Lucky Day was doing his meet and greet. Get up here and they tell us that meet and greet was like a whole hour before we got there. And the thing is that they claim they sent out emails to everybody, right? But we never did receive an email or anything. So we told them that, and they just ended up giving us, the little gift thing that he gives out to people who do the meet and greet and everything, and gave me a little VIP little thing, tag thing that you wear, and then a little mirror with his name on it, a little bag, and it was something else that I got. I can't remember what it was, but it was something else that I got too with his name on it. But I was like, damn, at least they could have went and told him that a few people did not get chance to meet him in person and take a picture because we didn't receive the email. So I think they should have let him know. And then once he came out on the stage, he could have just said to all the people that didn't get a chance to meet me, come up here in the front. I just want to say hey to you guys. I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to meet me. And there you go. And just left it at that. But they probably didn't go and tell him. But I'm definitely going to, I don't know if he'll see it, but I'm sending him a message, because I'm in his fan thing, and see if he'll see it, let him know that a couple people didn't get a chance to see him, even though we paid $170 for the tickets. Come on now. We should have been able to see him. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it was a pretty good concert. The only thing is that no seats. We had to stand up. So that's cool because last time I went to his concert was the same thing. But it was extremely hot, man. It was so damn hot. Like probably around the last 20 minutes of the show, I couldn't take it anymore. I went to the restroom to cool off a little bit. I still was extremely hot. Then they was in there smoking weed, so I feel like I got a contact buzz. So it was like the damn room. I don't know. I was feeling dizzy and shit. So I ended up going to my car toward the very ending of the concert. So I went in my car and waited. My daughter stayed in there and watched the rest of it. And I chilled and got me some water because another thing too, they had water there, but they did not take cards. It was just cash only, and I couldn't believe that because I was like, usually it's uh, cards only, so I couldn't even get any water there either. So that was messed up, and of course you couldn't bring any water into the place. So I went back to my car so I can get some water and so I can get unhot. Okay, as soon as I went outside and got that water, I was good. But yeah, y'all, when I drove home last night, I don't know where the hell I was at. As far as drive, when I was driving, I knew where I was going, but I'm just saying I was like in the twilight zone because I'm telling you, I had a contact off that damn weed. They was somebody behind me. This dude and his girlfriend was behind me smoking and shit. And man, I'm telling you, I don't know how y'all enjoy being high. I was like, damn, y'all, look, I passed the way to go home and had to go all the way around. Shit, I didn't even know I passed it. I'm trying to figure out how did I get home. Okay, because I don't even listen, I remember some of the ride, but not all of it. But I'm just glad that God was looking out because man, that was a trip driving home last night. But overall, the concert was good. Lucky Day was looking good as hell. He was singing really good. I mean, he sounds just like he sounds on his CD. He's a good ass performer. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. He gives good concerts and stuff. And then his cover act, who came on first, she was pretty good as well. I would have recorded her, but I wasn't there for her. I was there for Lucky Day. But it was pretty good. I got a lot of footage, so I will be putting it up on my YouTube shorts. I put up one today, and then on my TikTok, I'll put up some. So I'm glad I went. When he come again, hopefully he will, have a better venue and hopefully some seats. That would be great because we stood up for about 3 hours, But yeah, but I had a good night, y'all. I really did. But anyway, Hey to J4, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in. Jermaine in a place to be. Hey, what's up to you? And then we got John in the bush. What's up, John in the bush? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Welcome to everybody in my bushes over here and everybody that watches this in a replay. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys had a great weekend and a beautiful Monday as well. All right. All right, let's go and do this copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. It will be in my comment area, and part of it is scrolling across that screen, as you can see right there in the greenish, yellowish manner. All right. Also, guys, don't forget the Cash App, Shades Tube. What the hell am I talking about? Don't forget to do a Cash App at $ Shades Tube if you want, guys. Okay, and all donations will be used to pay for some things on this channel, to make it better. Y'all, I think I am officially ready to be monetized. I'm pretty sure I am. I didn't check, but last time I checked, I only needed 3 hours. Okay, so that's a great, 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 great thing to accomplish finally. I cannot believe it after all this time. Been on YouTube for so damn long. I was monetized when I first got on YouTube, and then I lost it because I could not, do my videos like I wanted to or anything else. But now I'm in a status for being, I'm in a position for being monetized. So I guess in maybe a couple of weeks I'll apply for it and stuff. So that's a good thing. And I still need to go ahead and do the little collabo with Firmo. I think I said their name right, or either Firmu for eyeglasses. And so I need to send them the information they need so I can go ahead and do that collabo, which will be on my it will be in my YouTube Shorts section, or either on my Dollar Tree haul part of this channel. So that's pretty good that I got a collabo. I can't believe that one still and stuff. So y'all make sure y'all check that out when I do it, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get started on this live tonight. And this live is concerning Breonna Taylor's case, as well as these little kids are getting outrageous. They are doing more and more crazier. They doing crazy stuff, y'all. They really are. I cannot believe some of the stuff I read about kids. Okay. I mean, 15, 14, just doing crazy shit, man. I don't know if the parents are not doing their jobs, or if they are just, some of these parents are just basically raising badass kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, because I don't remember kids doing some of these things that I'm going to tell you about tonight. At least one. All this week I'm going to give you tragedies that little kids are, a part of. You know what I'm saying? Which is plainly ridiculous. All right. And I'm also, if I remember, I'll give you one money-making idea tonight before I leave as well, okay? So let's go ahead and start off with this live. You get you something to drink, eat. I mean, who eats at this late at night? But some people do, in a relaxing seat or bed or whatever, and check this out. And for all of you people who work late at night, y'all have a good night at work, okay? And thank you so much for tuning into Shades Tube. All righty now. All right. Let's go over here and find this breaking news stuff and topic time. I can never find it, y'all. I can never find it. Here it is right here. Okay. So here we go, y'all. Let me go over and check this over here again. Yeah, I know. It was a trip. Let's see here. Just reading some of these comments. All right. So here we go now. So, y'all, can you believe that the federal judge, first let me ask this question. Do you guys believe that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend caused her unaliving? Put it in the chat, yes or no. And let me get some water while I'm waiting for you guys to respond if you guys are awake. Because I'm fully awake. I sure am. Okay, so Jermaine said no. Okay. Hell no. Okay, we wait for J4 because he's at work, so we'll see. Thank you, J4. Thank you so much for this right here. Thank you. So anyway, y'all, can you believe a federal judge has thrown out major felony charges against two former Louisville officers accused of falsifying a warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally shot her? And J4 said no as well. Now let me tell you guys about the situation with Breonna Taylor first. Okay, let me go ahead and go to this real quick. Let me come off of this and go back to the actual story. I'm not going to go over her whole thing. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of it. Okay. Let me also do this so I can be able to find this easier this time when I go back to it. So it won't take me a long time to find it. Okay, let me go over a little history so you guys can know. So anyway, Breonna Taylor was unalive by police in a botched raid. Okay, on March the 13th, 2020, Breonna Taylor at that time was 26 years old. She was a black emergency medical technician. She was shot and unalive by police in her Louisville, Kentucky apartment after officers busted through her door with a battering ram. Taylor and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, both of whom had no criminal records, had been asleep in bed. Walker, who later stated he feared an intruder had broken in, used his legally owned gun to fire one shot, which wounded Sergeant Jonathan Madeline in the leg. Sergeant Madeline and officers Miles Cosgrove and Brett Hankerson, all white, in plain clothes, returned fire, blindly shooting 32 times in the dark, striking Taylor 6 times. Now, according to the New York Times, Louisville police had received a court-approved no-knock warrant to search the apartment for signs of drug trafficking while investigating Taylor's ex-boyfriend, Jamarcus Glover. Those orders were changed to knock and announce before the raid, the newspaper reports. The police involved stated they complied with the warrant, but Walker said he heard no such announcement. Somebody kicked in the door, shot my girlfriend, Walker told a dispatcher in a call to 911. The three officers were placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. Walker was arrested for attempted murder of a police officer, a charge that was dropped May the 22nd as the FBI, Department of Justice, and Kentucky Attorney General began their own investigations, according to the Times. No drugs were found in the apartment. Now, following an internal investigation, Hankerson was fired by the Louisville Metro Police Department June the 23rd for violating procedure and was indicted by a grand jury on September the 23rd on 3 counts of wanton endangerment as bullets he fired entered a neighboring apartment with people inside. He pleaded not guilty in March of 2022. He was acquitted on all 3 counts. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron told the grand jury that hold on, y'all, I'm saying the name wrong, that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in returning fire. No charges were brought against either man. Now, following Taylor's unaliving, in national protests, including a viral social media campaign with the hashtag Say Her Name, and outcries from civil rights activists and political leaders, no-knock warrants were banned in Louisville in an ordinance known as Breonna's Law. The city also agreed to pay her family a historic $12 million in a wrongful unaliving lawsuit settlement. Following a 2-year investigation, the Justice Department found a pattern of discriminatory and abusive practices in the Louisville Metro Police Department. Okay, so that was just a little history about Breonna Taylor's situation. Okay, now let me go back to what I was reading before, just so you guys can know. Wait, let me let it open up. So, as I was saying, a federal judge has thrown out major felony charges against two former Louisville officers accused of falsifying a warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally shot her. Okay, U.S. District Judge Charles Simpson's ruling declared that the actions of Taylor's boyfriend, who fired a shot at police the night of the raid, was the legal cause of her unaliving, not a bad warrant. Federal charges against former Louisville police detective Joshua James and former Sergeant Kyle Minnie were announced by U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland in 2022 during a high profile visit to Louisville. Garland accused James and Minnie, who were not present at the raid, of knowing they had falsified part of the warrant and put Taylor in a dangerous situation by sending armed officers to her apartment. But Simpson wrote in the Tuesday ruling that there is no direct link between the warrantless entry and Taylor's unaliving. Simpson's ruling effectively reduced the civil rights violations charged against James Imeni, which had carried a maximum sentence to life in prison to life, sentence of life in prison, two misdemeanors. The judge declined to dismiss a conspiracy charge against James and another charge against Meany, who is accused of making false statements to investigators. When police carrying a drug warrant broke down Taylor's door in March 2020, her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, fired a shot that struck an officer in the leg. Walker said he believed an intruder was bursting in. Officers returned fire, striking and unaliving Taylor, a 26-year-old black woman, in her hallway. Simpson concluded that Walker's conduct became the proximate or legal cause of Taylor's unaliving. Now, while the indictment alleges that James Imeni set off a series of events that ended in Taylor's unaliving, it also alleges that Walker disrupted those events when he decided to open fire on the police, Simpson wrote. Walker was initially arrested and charged with attempted murder of a police officer, but that charge was later dropped after his attorneys argued Walker didn't know he was firing at police. A U.S. Justice Department spokesperson confirmed to CBS News that the department is reviewing the judge's decision and assessing next steps. A third former officer charged in the federal warrant case, Kelly Gillette, pleaded guilty in 2022 to a conspiracy charge and is expected to testify against James Imeni at their trials. Federal prosecutors allege James, who drew up the Taylor warrant, had claimed to Goodlett days before the warrant was served that he had verified from a postal inspector that a suspected drug dealer was receiving packages at Taylor's apartment. But Goodlett knew that was false and told James the warrant did not yet have enough information connecting Taylor to criminal activity, prosecutors said. She added a paragraph saying the suspected drug dealer was using Taylor's apartment as his current address, according to court records. 2 months later, when the Taylor shooting was attracting national headlines, James and Goodlett met in James' garage to get on the same page before James talked to investigators about the Taylor warrant, court records said. A fourth former officer, Brett Hankerson, was also charged by federal prosecutors in 2022 with endangering the lives of Taylor, Walker, and some of her neighbors when he fired into Taylor's windows. A trial last year ended with a hung jury, but Hankerson is scheduled to be retried on those charges in October. In 2022, the city of Louisville agreed to pay $2 million to settle lawsuits filed by Kenneth Walker in federal and state court. In 2020, CBS morning co-host Gayle King asked Walker, "What does justice look like for you for Breonna Taylor?" He said, "Breonna Taylor sitting right here next to me," Walker said. "That's the only justice for me." Okay? So there you go, guys. We just went through all of that, okay? And like I said before from the beginning, I said that the federal judge thrown out major felony charges against two former Louisville officers accused of falsifying a warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally shot her. They also said that Taylor's boyfriend, who fired a shot at police the night of the raid, were the legal cause of her unaliving, not a bad warrant. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? Jermaine said they were asleep. The boyfriend thought someone was breaking into the house. Right. I mean, just to come in here like that, just breaking, bursting into someone's home like that. They're in the bed asleep. I mean, what would you expect a person to do if they didn't know that the police was coming? I mean, what do you expect? Of course, someone would go and get their GUN and start shooting because they thinking somebody is doing a home invasion. It's plainly ridiculous. Let's see what some of these comments are saying. Herbert said, "Whatever happened to accountability for your actions?" And this one thing that police departments, of course, this nation seem to never want to do when their officers are wrong in their actions, always covering up and covering for the wrongdoing. And I know you're going to have a bunch of haters critique in this comment, but the facts are true. Aaron, of course, said the facts are the officers were shot at. Anything after that is on the boyfriend, shooter, not the police that have a right to fire in self-defense, for Christ's sake. First of all, though, they just said that the warrant, I believe, was falsified. It was false. Okay. So they should have never been there. That's the first thing. They burst into the door. Okay. These people were in the bed asleep. What do you expect them to do? They didn't know that that was the police. Okay. They just came in. You're asleep in the bed. Just imagine, put yourself in that position. You're in the bed asleep, and all of a sudden, you hear somebody coming into your place. What do you think people will do? Hey, Young Riz, thank you so much for coming in. Y'all make sure y'all show Young Riz some love and support. Okay, J4, I'm happy you're awake, huh? The police agency and government really want those who are asleep to buy that narrative. Right, that's crazy. I mean, for real, if you're laying in bed asleep at night and somebody just busts through your door, you're not thinking about no police. You're like, who the hell is that? And so you're gonna get whatever you need to get to defend yourself because you don't know at that time that it's the police. And I'm glad they banned that too, because that's crazy. Anytime the police come to your house, they should be announcing themselves because you don't know who these people are at nighttime when you're asleep. Shit, you could be in the kitchen and wouldn't know, who that is, and somebody just bust into your door like that. And then they said the officer was shot at. This one guy said that, Aaron. But think, if the officers would have never busted into that damn apartment, that would have never happened. That would have never happened. They thought that somebody in there was selling drugs, right? The two dudes, Meanie and James, if I'm not mistaken, one of them had said that somebody at that address was getting drug packets or something like that. But he was lying. He was lying. That's why he's going back up for retrial, I believe, in October, if I remember that correctly. So anyway, Sam said at Aaron, they have the right to shoot through walls. And he was asking, do they have the right to shoot through walls? Just shooting it. Don't know who they shooting at, just shooting like weirdos. They have the right to kick someone's door in the middle of the night without announcing themselves and expect people to not defend themselves in their property, especially when they had no clue it was the police. This is America. You kick my door in, and I don't give a F who it is. I'm shooting too. If you truly think these officers were justified, you're what's wrong with this country. And I definitely agree because, good and damn well, let's keep it real. If anybody come through our doors and we are asleep in the bed, you're going to get up and get whatever weapon you can get because you don't know what the hell is going on. Let's keep it real. And for them to sit up here and say it's the boyfriend's fault is plainly ridiculous. The boyfriend was asleep just like the girlfriend was. He would have never known who that was. Thought it was a home invasion. Once again, we got people taking up for people who don't need to be taken up for in line and covering up shit. It doesn't even make any sense. J4 says, so if the warrant was falsified, they shouldn't have been there. So how and you know what? The boyfriend is the cause. There's contradicting information in that narrative they are trying to push. And I agree with you. That is so true. I mean, you're asleep. How do you know who it is? You don't know who it is. They did not say they are the police. They just burst into the damn door with that little device they bust in with because they thought that somebody in there was selling drugs. And let's keep it real. Is selling drugs in your house at late at night? I forgot what time it was, 12 something at night. I can't remember the time. Does that really warrant you to bust into the house like that for real, without announcing yourself? Like they got a whole damn factory in there and people up working at night and they just know for sure that people are selling drugs and people coming in and out and all these type of things. It's crazy. Jermaine says she had no criminal record and no drugs were found in her apartment. Says, sir, you know what? No knock warrants have been banned in Louisville. Right. And as it should be. Because why in the hell would police be bursting into your place anyway that damn late at night? Because they know they did something wrong. That's why they changed the policy. They know good and damn well that even if you are not asleep, if you could be sitting up there in your kitchen eating dinner or in your dining room eating dinner, not by the door, and somebody busts in your door, and the first thing you're going to do is run to get your weapon because you don't know who these people are until you actually see them. And nobody is going to wait until you see them unless they really catch you off, guard. That is crazy for them to even say that, for that judge to even say that. That's why they're going back against him, I believe. I think that's what I said too at the end. I'm about to look at that again. Okay, let's see. Another person said the officers were shot at by a law-abiding citizen exercising his Second Amendment rights by arming himself and defending his home from what seemed to be a home invasion. He was the one firing in self-defense. Right, and I agree. He definitely was because he did not know who that was. First of all, they didn't even find any drugs in the house. Okay, no type of information, no type of evidence or anything that states that this dude was a drug seller or that she was. Let's see here. And then they shooting all through windows and shit and walls and stuff. Bullets hitting the neighbors and shit. Could have unalived other people. Just plainly ridiculous. It's like they just went crazy in that apartment. Another commenter named Mike said, "What are you talking about? The cops never should have been there in the first place. They lied to get the warrant. They broke the law just to get there. And the boyfriend was acting in self defense against crooked cops when they kicked in the door in the middle of the night on a bad warrant. None of this was in any the boyfriend's fault." And I agree. None of that was the boyfriend's fault. Because again, they lied. That one dude or two lied regarding that warrant. He know good and damn well he didn't have no information saying that somebody at that address was selling no drugs. Let's keep it real. Okay. Then you coming by the house, breaking in, basically, because that's what they basically did. Breaking in late at night, didn't even say, "This is the police, open up." Didn't do none of that shit. Just bust right in. These people were in bed asleep. Just like if you were asleep right now, somebody burst into your house, you know you're going to grab some type of weapon. You're not just going to lay there or let me go see who this is at the door. And they break it in like that. A bunch of people. That's crazy as hell, y'all. That's crazy. And I don't see how this judge could have ruled that this was the boyfriend's fault. And it was not the actions of a bad warrant or the police. Here we go. Somebody said he was not a homeowner. He also wasn't allowed to own a gun. Do some research. Listen, it doesn't matter if he was not the homeowner. It was his house. You don't have to actually be a homeowner. You're there. You're there in bed at that particular time with your girlfriend. So you still are in the house. You know, you're there. You don't have to actually own the home. You're there with her. That's your girlfriend. And as far as him not allowed to have a gun, the thing about it is like this. It doesn't matter because the thing is that if they would have never came into the house in the first place, he would have never shot point blank. Okay? Because we already know that the damn warrant was not, it was falsified. So they should have never been there in the first damn place. Let's keep it real. They should have never been there in the first place. And then they burst through the damn door and didn't even say who they were or anything else. So what do you think people are going to do? And you do not have to be an actual homeowner as long as you're living there or you're there as a person basically living there because you're there with your girlfriend. And so somebody's still calling him a drug dealer. They did not find any damn information this dude sell any type of drugs at that particular time. So here we go with another comment. Well, I don't think cops need to tell people, "Oh, by the way, you're getting raided by midnight, so be ready." That's like what the fuck bullshit. First of all, they raided the wrong place. Okay, a botch raid. They shouldn't have been raiding there in the first place. Okay, okay, yeah, we know that cops raid places when they want to catch criminals. Okay, but make sure the damn shit is true. Make sure you got true information. You have correct information. Make sure everything is correct before your stupid asses go in there and raid any damn thing. Okay, because a person's innocent life was taken over stupidity and mistakes. So make sure that the cops have all of the real information, the correct information before they do these raids. People always want to defend stupidity until something like this happens to them. And then they want you to feel sorry for their stupid asses. I don't be feeling sorry for them. I really don't. Jermaine said officers claim that when they arrived at Taylor's apartment the night of March 13th, they knocked multiple times and identified themselves as police. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, says they didn't. Him being the homeowner is irrelevant. It was his drilling, even if it was temporary. That's what I was just saying, because he's dating a girl and stuff like that. Now, in the reports that I just read, it says the officers did not identify themselves. So I don't know for sure. Okay. But they said that the officers did not identify themselves. They just busted right in with some type of I guess the little thing they used to get into your house and stuff. When they're trying to get in, a ramming thing. I forgot what they call it, but that's what it says in the article. Let's see. Again, somebody said their asses wasn't even supposed to be there. The guys they wanted didn't live there. Don't even make any sense. Okay, so somebody else defended the dude that said he wasn't a drug dealer. Her ex was, but he didn't live there. And he was already in custody at the time of her shooting. But it's okay. I'm sure you can still find ways to justify her unaliving. Hashtag sleeping while black. Okay, so it was her ex boyfriend, allegedly, that was the drug dealer, right? That's what somebody said in the comment section. I don't know if this is true, but her new boyfriend wasn't. So they still made a mistake. Like I said before, the police should have did a fucking stakeout and watched to make sure before they did the damn bust, okay? That's what they should have done. Do your fucking job, police officers that don't do them. Do your job correctly. Because, you hear about these stories continuously about you guys going in there, busting in, shooting people that are innocent, just all types of weird shit. Doesn't even make any sense. You know good and damn well these police officers were there and they should have been there. All right? They shouldn't have been there. You know good and damn well if somebody's asleep and they don't hear the police announce themselves or anything else, they're going to think it's a damn home invasion. So they're going to grab whatever weapon they can, whether it is a gun or a knife. They're going to grab something. Goodness. Does not even make any sense. And then for this person in this comment section to say he wasn't even a homeowner when he's being there with the girl, he's a homeowner at that particular time. He's there. That's stupid. I don't know why these people keep on saying this dude was a criminal, and I don't see anything on him. If he did anything, it probably was nothing major. Okay, somebody said he was a legal GUN owner. This was acknowledged in court when his charges were dismissed with prejudice. His actions were covered by stand your ground laws, which don't give a shit if you are a homeowner, renter, or just stand with your girl. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. If she was dating him, even if she wasn't, she got him over her house and he's basically living there at that particular time. That's what he is. He can defend his home. Okay. Somebody said, I guess you missed the part that the police identified themselves. Somebody else went back and said, I did miss that part. So did the 11 of the 12 witnesses on the scene? No, excuse me. They said, I did miss that part. So did 11 of the 12 witnesses on the scene. And the one witness who did hear it, well, Google the headline. The only witness who heard police announce themselves at Breonna Taylor's door changed his story and do some reading. So he changed his damn story. Somebody else said, another commenter said, the boyfriend is a free man, which means the law said he was justified in his shooting at the officers. That's a fact. He had a right to defend himself. I don't argue the cops didn't. They both had the right to self-defense. The only issues here are the officers who lied to obtain the warrant. The judge ruled they aren't, which isn't surprising. It's Kentucky. But reasons dictates if the officers didn't lie to obtain the warrant, which is a crime, then there would be no shooting. Just that simple. And I said the same thing. If that warrant was never falsified, the officers would have never been there. Okay? They would have never been there. So no one would ever got shot at. Okay? The boyfriend would have never gotten up to shoot point blank. So I still say it's the officer's fault, point blank. And that liar who lied, who falsified the information that led to that false ass warrant. Another commenter named Chris said the fact was they had a bad warrant and should not have been in that place to start with. The fact is, people were breaking into a person's house without any warning, and the resident shot at an unknown attacker. In any other instance, the people breaking into the house would be hands down guilty, with no room for debate. A badge doesn't excuse everything. Also, somebody said the cops did not present themselves, so it's all on them, despite what the corrupt judge said. He's definitely, allegedly, well, listen, he definitely appears to be just what this dude said. Because why would he say that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend is the reason why she got shot at? Kenneth Walker would have never engaged in a gun battle with multiple police officers. Right, right. If he would have known who they were. Okay. And since they were asleep in the bed, enjoying a good night's sleep, he did not know. He would have done just like anybody else would have done if they would have heard, somebody or, heard somebody breaking into their home. Let's keep it real. Hold on, let's see. Let's go because they cussing each other out now. So then another commenter said, "You are a clown. So warrants based on lies are okay. You are a brainwashed, government indoctrinated dumbass. This is why people unalive police, no accountability for their crimes. So people have had enough. And here in Georgia, some people have started holding court, playing by the police state handbook. Shoot first, ask questions later." And the thing about it, and the reason why he said that is because somebody said the facts are the officers were shot at. Anything after that is blank, blank, blank. So this guy was responding back to that. Now I'm not going to condone unaliving police officers, okay? Because I'm going to stress this again. All police officers are not bad. Some are though. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is this right here. We know for sure that the warrant was falsified. Okay, it was false, point blank. We also know for sure that if they were never there, Breonna Taylor would be still alive. We also know it's not the boyfriend's fault. All right, I don't care what that judge says, because the thing is that his charges were dismissed. That's the first thing. Secondly, again, if the police officers were never there, okay, on a falsified warrant, none of this would happen. Also, that no tell people who you are. I mean, I know they want to come on a surprise raid, but you got to make 100% sure that you have true information before you start bursting into people's homes at damn 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning when people are asleep. You need to know for real if the people you're looking for is there. Shit, this right here makes you think you can be laying in your bed sleeping with your significant other all of a sudden because somebody told the police or presented some information or whatever the case is, telling the police something. They issue a warrant or falsify warrant, whatever, and they just come and start busting into your door. And then you don't know what the hell is going on. You get up at night and you grab your weapon and you start shooting. And then the whole shooting thing start happening. And then just heaven forbid one of your kids get shot and unalive. So this is the way we have to look at this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad they banned that coming into your place without announcing yourself there in that state. I'm glad they banned that because it's plainly ridiculous. Anytime the police come to your door, they should be telling you it's the police, even if they are bursting in. They can say police, police, police while they bursting in. And I honestly feel like they shouldn't even be doing raids late at night like that. I mean, I know with some people you have to, like if they're doing a stakeout and they're watching the place, for a couple of days or weeks or months, then if they go do one of those little raids or whatever, okay, that's cool. But if you're not watching stuff to make sure the people there are actually, partaking in some type of criminal activity or anything like that, I just can't get with that. You know what I'm saying? I just can't, because you have to make sure when you doing raids, because innocent people can get unalive, like in Breonna Taylor's case. They definitely need to learn that. So many of these incidents could have been avoided if they simply de-escalated the situations, right? That is true. Hey, Street Poor, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all show Street Poor some love and support, okay, y'all? Thank you. That is definitely true, de-escalating. But in that case right there, Jermaine, they should have never been there, point blank. They should have never been there, all right? And I know those other two, Meanly and I forgot the other dude's name. They lied and things like that. But the thing is that the police needs to make sure that whomever they are trying to get, they need to make sure those people are there and make sure they are at the right location and a crime is actually happening. Point blank. They need to make sure of that. Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so Christina said, I have followed this story since the beginning, and this sickens me yet again. They didn't know knock warrant with no credible evidence, and it was actually proven the person they were looking for did not even reside at the residence when Breonna lost her life as a first responder during the COVID-19, outbreak. Okay. Okay, so Christina came back and said exactly if his charges were dismissed, there should not have been because they were in the wrong. The warrants they had was not even legitimate. The cop lied to even get the warrant. Right. He had said he had gotten a tip from the post office in regards to pills being delivered to someone that did not even live at that address. Okay, but and see, and that's another thing too. They doing all of that for some damn pills. I mean, you could have came by the house in the daytime. I mean, let's keep it real. When people be up, and that no knock warrant, it's a good thing they got that bad because that is crazy as hell. You need to identify yourself because people do home invasions. They just break right in. How the hell would somebody know it's the police? Even in the daytime, like I said before, how would you know that it's the police unless you're sitting right there in front of the damn door? If you are upstairs in your bathroom and somebody come to your door like that, the police, you're gonna grab something because you don't know who it is. You could be in your bedroom, you could be in the bathroom, you could be in your kitchen cooking dinner, you could be even in your dining room. You just know. Somebody said they had the wrong house, dummy. How was he supposed to know it was the police if he wasn't doing anything illegal? Right. Even if he was doing something illegal, he still wouldn't know it was the police. Okay, because it was a surprise raid. Shh. Somebody said they do have to knock and announce themselves as police. I could be wrong, but I believe they're supposed to do it 2 to 3 times before entering. That might vary state by state. It did at that particular time. I don't know about now. I have to look it up. But at that particular time, they didn't have that ban. So there they could do that. Okay. But again, when you come by late at night, I still say you have to announce yourself because once they get there, I mean, I know they don't want to announce themselves because they figure somebody may get some weapons or whatever the case is. But see, the reason why they come at night because they be thinking that people are asleep. So, they could have just said police, police, and then came in. But honestly, I still don't think they would have heard that because they were asleep. They were asleep. So that's why I go back to the thing that you have to make sure that the people you're looking for are actually there. You have to make sure you are at the right residence. You definitely have to make sure everything is correct. That's why you do a damn stakeout so you can see who comes, who enters the house, who comes out the house, who be there routinely. Okay, because I'm sure if her ex-boyfriend, allegedly, if her ex-boyfriend was a drug seller, allegedly a drug seller, whatever the case is, I'm pretty sure they had a picture of what he looks like. So if they're outside doing a stakeout for a couple of days or weeks or whatever the case is, they would have known that he does not live there anymore. Okay? And then instead of doing a bust, a raid, or whatever the hell it is, they could have just questioned her. That's all they had to do. Right, no knock. But they banned those, as they should have. Okay? They those they should have. So let's see what this person said. So somebody said if they kick the door in, they are supposed to announce search warrant police and whatever other shouts. I don't know if they did or didn't in this case. It doesn't say. Yes, they have the right to fire back. They are police officers. Everybody knows what the consequences are for hitting, biting, spitting at, shooting, fighting, running from an officer. This was not a race issue either for those who made such a big deal that she was black. It was a horrible outcome, and if the warrant was invalid, it never should have happened. However, the cops were fired at, even shot. They fired back to protect themselves and had every right in that case to do that. Okay, Elias, all right? First of all, now I got to say something back to you. Yeah, they do have the right to fire back, but the thing is, they came there on a falsified warrant. I mean, that's one key thing the person forgot to talk about. All right, so they were there, and the other cop knew this. Okay, so if they were there on a falsified warrant, that's not right in itself. All right. Yes, they have a no knock. They had a no knock warrant at that time, so they can come in there without even, I guess. No. See, the no knock warrant. Here we go. Wait. The no knock warrant meant that they don't have to knock. They just come on through. But they should have still said it's the police. It's the police. Open up. I mean, they don't really have to say open up and just say open up because that's what I hear on the TV. You know what I'm saying? But they should have been saying it's the police. It's the police. It's the police. Period. Because no knock means they don't have to do this. They don't have to do that. You hear that? All they do is just come straight in. But when they coming straight in, they should be saying, it's the police. It's the police. It's the police. So they come in, okay? But he said, Kenneth Walker said he did not hear anything. And a lot of other people said, neighbors said they didn't hear anything either. Only one, I believe, said that they did. Then they changed the story. I don't know what they said when they changed the story, but we do know 11 of the 12 witnesses said they didn't hear the police say anything. All right. So if 11 people are saying that to me, I don't believe they said anything. All right. So they just came through. We already know no knock means no knocking. You know, they just come on through, but they should have still announced themselves, so they can possibly or might have heard them. All right. So Kenneth Walker heard somebody coming through the door. So he jumps up, grab his, GUN and start shooting. I mean, I don't know what they thought he's supposed to do. Run out there with the GUN and say, who is that? Stop in your place. Stop. Don't go. I don't know what they thought. And even if he would have said that, since he had a GUN in his hand, they would have started shooting him anyway, because they would have seen that and just, start shooting. You know how they do, So, I mean, that wouldn't have worked, y'all. That's on everything. It wouldn't have worked. So the only thing that would have worked if they would have cased the place like normal people would do, you know what I'm saying? And make sure that whomever they are looking for, be there. Okay? Just watch the place. Watch who goes in, who comes out. Make sure that your information is valid. Do all of that stuff. Okay? Do all of that. And like I said before, I'm pretty sure if her ex-boyfriend allegedly is a drug seller, they probably have a picture of him. So you're going to be watching the place to see if this person is going to come to the apartment or leave out of it and things like that. If you don't see this person, the police could have easily walked up to Miss Taylor and questioned her about her ex-boyfriend. So let's see. Cops can intentionally put themselves in harm's way, then claim self-defense. Like the cops that shot the woman after the cops stepped in front of her car. Right. And that's crazy, right? Like in that case that I went over, right? You're right, Jermaine. J4 says some people are just knowingly and unknowingly asleep. That person who comment you are reading is tripping, right? That's stupid. Most people cannot hear like that when they're sleeping. You may hear like, when I'm sleeping I can hear everything, but everybody don't sleep like that. But if I hear somebody breaking through my door, I don't know if I'm gonna hear the police say police, police, police. All I'm gonna be doing is grabbing a weapon, 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 because you don't know who the hell that is coming through your door. you know Now granted, I do have a camera system in my house and outside my house, so I would probably see them on the camera, right? But when you're in the middle of a sleep, who the fuck getting up looking at a camera when you think somebody doing like a home invasion? You're not looking at it on camera. You're gonna just immediately get something. Yeah, I did. So yeah, so that's what you're gonna basically do. So I don't care how much they try to justify this. There's no justification. The thing is, they should have never been they stupid asses there. Okay, point blank. Okay, and the two people or the one person, I think it was two who falsified the warrant and then lied. They definitely need to be going back to court, and I'm glad one of them or two of them are. I can't remember what I read, but I think it's at least one is going back for a retrial. Definitely need to be, and we're gonna go over that again just to make sure, because falsifying a warrant, though, that is the reason why this girl is unalive, you guys. That is the reason. Let's keep it real. That is the reason why she's unalive. The two people or the one person who falsified that, they should be held accountable for that. Let's keep it real. Not Kenneth Walker, okay? Because if the police did not know that it was falsified, I don't know for sure if they knew or not. But if they didn't know it was falsified, they're just doing their job, basically, right? Let's keep it real. So the people that should be held accountable are the two that lied and falsified the damn warrant, who led the police to there. Which I think one of them was a police officer, if not, but one is a police officer and the other one worked at the post office or something like that, right? So those are the people that should be held accountable. And I don't understand why the judge didn't do this. I just don't understand this. Okay, let's see here. See, somebody keep on saying they was there for the ex-boyfriend. Again, I'm gonna say this again. They should have known, because if that's why you do a stakeout, that's why you watch who goes in and out of that house. Okay, I'm pretty sure they had a picture of her ex-boyfriend. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna be reading this message real quick. Hold on, y'all. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, so let's see here. Somebody said body cam showed an eyewitness said they did knock and yell police through the door. But even if they did, yeah, the judge just did this, J4. Even if they did, when you're asleep, I'm gonna say this again. A lot of people can't hear that right there. You see what I'm saying? You be knocked out. Some people be knocked out. You can have music on, you can have your TV on, or you can just be knocked out. Okay, sometimes you don't hear that. That's why I go back to the thing that they should have made sure. You have to make sure. Let's see what else they got. These people are arguing about this. Somebody said, if you don't acknowledge that you are a police officer and just try to enter someone's home, what the F they supposed to do? They don't know you from a robber. The rules can't be stand your ground in one verse and the fault of the people house you broke into the next verse. This is the game the system plays when they're all with their own folks had screwed up. A few years ago, a white lady cop goes from the police station across the street from her apartment. She goes into an innocent young black guy's apartment, claiming she thought he was a burglar in her apartment. So she shot and unalived him, then used she was so tired from being overworked excuse, but she wasn't too tired to grab her revolver, and she only got 10 years in prison, which is likely 45 years. But until it hits close to home, you what? Your lives get unalived by some corrupt cops. You would always back and support thugs in police outfits. Okay, I agree with this person. Okay. Um, it's just cut and dry for me, y'all. They shouldn't have been there. Yeah, I guess they figured they shouldn't. I don't know. Oh, they did? Oh, yeah, they did. You're right, Jermaine. They did march. Okay, let me go back to the story and see again. Let's refresh our memory real quick. Okay. So again, I said that the federal judge has thrown out major felony charges against two former Louisville officers accused of falsifying, I was right, a warrant. You hear that? They falsified the warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally unalived her. And the federal judge thrown out those felony charges against those two former officers accused of that. That is crazy. And then U.S. District Judge Charles Simpson ruling declared that the actions of Taylor's boyfriend, who fired a shot at police that night of the raid, were the legal cause of her unaliving. Not a bad warrant. How could have came to that? That is crazy. Then they went on to say federal charges against former Louisville police detective Joshua James and former Sergeant Cal Meany were announced by U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland in 2022 during a high-profile visit to Louisville. Garland accused James and Meany, who were not present at the raid, of knowing they had falsified part of the warrant. So James and Meany allegedly falsified part of the warrant and put Taylor in a dangerous situation by sending armed officers to her apartment. But anyway, Simpson wrote in the Tuesday's ruling that there is no direct link between the warrant injury and Taylor's unaliving. Simpson's ruling effectively reduced the civil rights against violation charges against James and Meany, which carried a maximum sentence to life in prison, and he dropped it to misdemeanors. Now, the judge did decline to dismiss a conspiracy charge against James and another charge against Meany, who is accused of making false statements to investigators. Now, let's see. They said while the indictment alleges that James, who are the detective and the sergeant, set off a series of events that ended in Taylor's unaliving, it also alleges that Walker, the boyfriend, disrupted those events when he decided to open fire on the police. Again, he was initially arrested and charged with attempted murder of a police officer, but that charge was later dropped because his attorney, Walker's attorney, said that he did not know he was firing at the police. Anyway, like I said before, the U.S. Justice Department is reviewing the judge's decision and assessing next steps. Hey, most hated bronze for flat power guy. Thank you so much for coming by. Y'all make sure y'all show bronze some love and support. Okay, so they are definitely reviewing, what the judge decision is, and hopefully they can do something about it because I don't feel like that is correct. Now, a third former officer charged in the federal warrant case, Kelly Goodlett, pleaded guilty in 2022 to a conspiracy charge and is expected to testify against James and Meany at their trials. Federal prosecutors alleged James, who drew up the Taylor warrant, had claimed to Goodlett days before the warrant was served that he verified from a postal inspector that a suspected drug dealer was receiving packages at Taylor's apartment. But Goodlett knew that was false. Okay, so Goodlett is the third officer, okay? So Goodlett knew that was false, okay? And then he told James the warrant did not yet have enough information connecting Taylor to criminal activity. She added a paragraph saying the suspected drug dealer was using Taylor's apartment as his current address, according to court records. 2 months later, when the Taylor shooting was attracting national headlines, James and Goodlett met in James' garage to get on the same page before James talked to investigators about the Taylor warrant. Now, fourth officer Brett Hankerson was also charged by federal. It may be Hank's son, Hanky's son. It may be Hanky's son. He was also charged by federal prosecutors in 2022 with endangering the lives of Taylor, Walker, and some of her neighbors when he fired into Taylor's windows. A, a trial last year ended with a hung jury. Hank's son is scheduled to be retried on those charges in October. So he's the one that's going to be retried. Okay. So he's the only one that's going to be retried. And then those two police officers who falsified the warrants, if I read this right, okay, with them saying that it's the boyfriend's fault, if I'm reading this correctly, they dropped their charges to a misdemeanor. Is that correct? Because if they would have kept that as the officers was responsible for this because of the falsified warrant, then they would have been charged with the felonies, right? And then they would have got life in prison, if I'm comprehending this correctly. This whole damn thing is a hot ass mess. It really is. Jermaine said Taylor's family won a $12 million wrongful, lawsuit. And then Jermaine said, I'm not sure what this judge justification is for this. I don't know. So they're going to assess this and look at that and assess it, review it, and assess everything. So hopefully they will change his decision if they can. I don't know. I know one thing is not right. I mean, how can you say that the warrant? Well, no. What they said is that the key list, hold on, not the key list, the knock list. Hold on, let me go back to it. They said that the falsifying the warrant did not lead to Breonna's unaliving. They said that her boyfriend's action was the reason why she's unalive, not a bad warrant. But I don't know how he could have got that decision knowing that the warrant was bad. I don't understand how you got that decision knowing that the warrant was bad. Because if they did not have a bad warrant and the police would have never been there, then Breonna Taylor would still be alive. So I don't know how they got that decision. Let's go to a couple of TikTok videos on this, and then we're going to conclude this part of this. And of course, if I get any more updates, I'll let you guys know on this. Let's go ahead and go look at this. So y'all, that sounds weird, fishy for real, because I'm trying to figure out how the judge made this decision. That didn't make no sense. Look at this thing. Okay, let's see. Breonna. Let me see what her boyfriend say real quick before we look at that. Let's see. Let's see what this dude talking about right here. Hold on. This is way from 2020. I want to see what he's talking about.
So you think they're coming to help you?
Yes. So when I come outside, there's guns.
Wait, y'all, let me turn this music down.
You know, I'm being threatened with dogs and whatever.
Hold on, let me let y'all see this. Hold on.
Coming for help.
I want to revisit this real quick before we move on. What time is it? Yeah, let me hurry up. Let's revisit this really briefly.
I called 911.
So you think they're coming to help you?
Yes. So when I come outside, there's guns pointed at me. You know, I'm being threatened with dogs and whatever else.
Don't look back. Put your hands on your head. That's what's going on.
The officer asked me, was I hit by any bullets? I said no. He said, that's unfortunate. So that threw me off too. So I'm like, what's he mean by that?
That's unfortunate, he said to you after you've just lost your girlfriend and you don't know what is happening. What did you think when you said that?
I didn't know what to think, and I really wasn't worried about me. The only reason I'm moving out here is because the only way for her to get help in there is for me to be out here.
We were scared. No, we didn't know who it was. We didn't even know who it was.
I was in the back of the car. I got drugged all the way down the street. It's cold. I thought they was, coming for help because I called 911.
That's
so
crazy,
you think they're
y'all.
coming to help you?
Yes. So when I come outside, there's guns.
So they did call the police when he heard somebody breaking in, I guess. That's what he's saying. And then that's crazy, y'all. That is messed up, man. And they said it's unfortunate it wasn't him that got shot. This is crazy, man. Let's see. So let's go ahead and hear this one right here. Still no justice, man. This is sad.
The circle of injustice surrounding the murder of Breonna Taylor in May 2020 is now complete. A federal judge in Kentucky has basically said that Kenneth Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, is the reason Breonna Taylor was ultimately killed, and not at the hands of the police officers who shot and killed unarmed Breonna Taylor. This case just stinks to high heaven from the outset. It was always kind of lesser charges, and it took a while for these charges to even materialize. And now a federal judge has said, and I quote, "There is no direct link between the warrantless entry and Taylor's death." And this is a federal judge, by the way, who was appointed about 40 years ago by Ronald Reagan in the Reagan era. And this is what we need to remember. These officers have admitted, the police force in Kentucky, Louisville, they admitted to falsifying the search warrant. That means they were illegally in Breonna Taylor's home. They had no legal right to be there. And Kenneth Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, he's basically opened fire, essentially in self-defense, because he didn't know who was breaking into his home. The officers have returned fire, and Breonna Taylor, unarmed, was killed in her own home. No officers have been charged for her murder. This case sparked such outcry around the world that it was a big factor leading to the Black Lives Matter protests, which sparked and spread around the world, demanding justice for Black people, police reform, the abolition of police, so on and so forth. And one of the demands too was reform around the way that warrants are executed. And here we have clear admittance, evidence that these officers falsified the very reason for being in Breonna Taylor's home. And her boyfriend fired in self-defense against intruders in his home who had no legal right to be there. And Breonna Taylor was unarmed. These are the facts. And yet no officers are facing charges over her death. This is an absolute scandal. And the only thing in my mind bigger than the scandal itself is really the fact that this case was so significant, is so significant at the time, and yet now it's barely really scratching the headlines. This case has been allowed to just kind of drag out over a long period of time. This happened like 4 years ago, and now it's reaching its bitter conclusion that these officers who took the life of Breonna Taylor, 26 years old, in her prime of life, had her life taken from her, these officers have yet again evaded accountability. There's no justice for Black people in America. This case is an absolute outrage, an absolute scandal.
And I agree. It's
The circle of
crazy.
injustice
It
surrounding
is
the
crazy,
killing, the
y'all.
murder of Breonna Taylor in May 2020 is now complete.
And I agree with this dude here. I agree with everything he said. It's just plainly ridiculous. Again, I don't understand how the judge came up with his ruling. I think it was him. So his ruling, I don't really understand it because we know that two officers, police officers, falsified the warrant. Okay, and we also know that the police would never had been there if it wasn't for that. You see what I'm saying? And again, I don't care if they did say it's the police. You're sound asleep. That doesn't mean you hear them. All right. So you're gonna assume that, someone is breaking into your home. So you're gonna grab whatever you need to grab to defend you and your family. Point blank. In my opinion, the two officers who falsified the warrant, they should be held accountable. Okay. And the third officer as well. All right. And I think it's a fourth one. All of those people should be held accountable. I really, truly believe that. Okay. Because if it wasn't for them falsifying stuff and lying, the police officers would have never barged in there, burst in, or however you want to say it. And Kenneth Walker, Brianna's boyfriend at the time, you know, he would have never fired any shots, point blank. You can clearly tell by his voice in that video I played that he was like, no, you can tell. You can tell that. There's no excuse. There's no justification or anything else for this young lady to not be here today. And that's on everything. No justification. And I think the judge is wrong in his ruling. I really do. And I want you guys to tell me in the comment section if you watch this video, do you think do you agree with the judge or do you disagree with the judge ruling? Let me know. And if you disagree, tell me why. All right. And I will give you guys any more updates whenever they come, in regarding Breonna Taylor. And my condolences are expressed out still to her parents, friends, family, the rest of her family. And my prayers are extended out to them. And may she continue to rest in peace. And I don't even know what else to say because we see right now that justice has not been served. Point blank, we see that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next story real quick because it's already been here. It's already an hour and 17 minutes. Let me read what Jermaine said. The fact that they called the police further proves they didn't know it was the police at the door. Right. They called the police because they didn't know. And so, like, to me, it's just a basic cover up. Let's keep it real. Okay. It's a cover up once again, and people are not being held accountable for their actions. And I'm telling you, those four cops, the two that falsified, the other one, and the other one, point blank, it should have never happened because they should have never been there. And I'm glad they did ban that warrantless entry. No knock, excuse me, not warrantless, but no knock entry. And let's look at that real quick too before we start with our next story. Let's see. Then I got to hurry up because I got to be in the bed by a certain time. Let's see. No knock entry law. Let me go off her story. And if you guys want to know more about her case, you can go to the history.com and just you can type in Breonna Taylor history.com. I think that's how you get there. Or you can just type in history.com and then in the search bar you can type in her name and you can read everything that they have on that particular case. Now, I'm supposed to be looking at the what is it called? No knock warrants. There it is right there. So a no knock warrant, you guys, is a search warrant authorizing police officers to enter certain premises without first knocking and announcing their presence or purpose prior to entering the premises. They said such warrants are issued where an entry pursuant to the knock and announce rule would lead to the destruction of the objects for which the police are searching or would compromise the safety of the police or another individual. The requirement that announcing police presence would result in destruction of objects or compromise safety is judged by a reasonable suspicion standard. They said although officers need not take affirmative steps to make an independent re-verification of the circumstances already recognized by a magistrate in issuing a no-knock warrant, such a warrant does not entitle officers to disregard reliable information, clearly negating the existence of exigent circumstances when they actually receive such information before execution of the warrant. No-knock warrants have become both more common and increasingly controversial in recent years, resulting in bans in some states on issuing no-knock warrants. However, federal law enforcement officials may still use no-knock warrants in those states and municipalities that ban the practice. Y'all hear that? They can still use them even though it's been banned. That's crazy, man. I'm telling you. But see, even if I know they have to do those sometimes because certain criminals, you got to catch them in the act. But what I'm saying is that they need to make sure they have the right people. That's why you have to stake out the place. Make sure these people are in there doing exactly what you coming in there for, so you won't make any mistakes. And that's what I'm gonna say. In the case of Breonna Taylor, though, they had a falsified warrant. They should have never been there. Point blank. Should have never been there. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see what states outlaw. So the states that outlaw no-knock warrants are Florida, Oregon, Tennessee, and Virginia. But anyway, they said that state level bans do not affect federal law enforcement. Okay, so the FBI could still go and do a no-knock warrant to your place. Okay, so you can know that. Excuse me, y'all. And they started using those in the and they started using it in the 1970s, just in case you guys want to know. But you can look that up online and look at everything regarding that, the laws and stuff, so you can know all about it. All right. Okay. So let's move on to this right here, guys. This next story, then we're gonna get ready to get out of here. I got about 10 minutes to go over this story, so let me do it real quick. Okay, so I asked a question in my description area of my video, and I said, I was talking about kids. Are kids getting more and more dangerous? Because every day you hear about some child doing something that kids years ago wouldn't even think about doing. Okay, let's keep it real. They wouldn't even think about doing certain crimes. But today you hear kids doing all types of brutal crimes. You know what I'm saying? Just doing stuff that grown-ups basically do. And that's why I think they do need to change laws regarding that. In my opinion, when a child does certain crimes like grown up shit, I really feel like they need to, hold them accountable for that. Maybe not put them in a prison with grown people, but I think they need to make detention center, juvenile, whatever you call it, a little bit more tougher for them. They should have special places to put these type of kids. And they should do more than 3 or 4 years or 5 or 6. And when they reach 21 or 23, they be out. You know what I'm saying? If a child unalives a grown up or RAPES or not, but RAPE, if they do that or some of these other brutal crimes, I feel like they should be incarcerated for years, okay? For years. And if they don't start doing harsher penalties for kids, It's just going to get worse and worse. And kids are going to be doing more and more grown up type crimes. Yeah, but detention center need to be a little longer for these kids, okay? Like in this case, you have a 16-year-old boy who lured three men to a grassy field to show them how a Glock switch worked and then shot them to DEATH. And I don't know if this kid did this on purpose or by mistake. Let me show you this kid real quick. Anyway, a jury in Indiana convicted a man who was just 16 years old when he unalived three people while he was showing them how to turn a Glock into a machine gun. Caden Smith, now 19, was found guilty Friday of 3 counts of murder, robbery, dangerous possession of a machine gun, and possession of methamphetamine, among other charges, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office said in a press release. He unalived Abdullah Mubarak, 17, Joseph Thomas, 18, and Michael James, 22. On October the 12th, 2021, an officer with the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department found the three men unalive, suffering from gunshot wounds in a path filled with tall grass near the 4400 block of South Meridian Street. Investigators recovered several spent shells casings at the scene. Cops later learned via text messages that Smith lured the men to the field over 2 nights to show them how a Glock switch works. The switch turns the semi-automatic firearm into a machine gun. Smith used the opportunity to murder all three men so he could rob them, per prosecutors. Detectives identified Smith as the suspect and found the murder weapon at his own home. Now, Abdullah's, Joseph's, and Michael's family would never be able to see them grow up and live their lives. That's according to Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears, who said this in a statement. This verdict solidifies that Smith will likely spend the rest of his life in prison for the crimes he committed. Now, because the killings happened 2 days apart in a remote area, rumors sprouted about a possible serial you know what. However, cops quickly debunked the rumor and arrested Smith. A guilty verdict was not always assured. In 2022, a judge, once again, threw out some key evidence after ruling detectives violated Smith's Fourth Amendment rights during a search warrant. Smith was released from jail on a GPS ankle monitor, but he found himself back in jail on his 18th birthday after cops uncovered Snapchat photos of Smith with a GUN in drugs, according to the TV station. He remained in jail until his trial, which began August the 19th and lasted 5 days. It was a long and challenging road for these families, but thanks to the steadfast commitment of the investigators, deputy prosecutors, and the multitude of agencies, justice has been secured for Abdullah, Joseph, Michael, and their families, Mears said. So in that case, justice was served. And once again, I'm going to repeat this again. When kids do heinous crimes as this boy did, the kid thing for me is thrown out of the damn door and window. All right? No, they should not be moved to no grown-up jails with grown offenders. No. But they should have an extended juvenile detention to put these criminals in until they reach 21. Once they reach 21, they need to throw their asses right into a regular jail system, a prison. But see, for me, when you take a life, your life should be taken. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not put out like you in the ground or something like that, but taken, when I'm saying taken, I'm saying put into a facility where you lose all your freedom, where you can't go to the mall, where you can't go hang out with your friends and things like that. You'll make new friends in a detention center. You'll make new ones, but you won't be out having your freedom. And they do need to change those laws. I'm talking about anyone, any child that's 12 and above that takes somebody's life on purpose. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Because a 13-year-old can very well go out and RAPE your sister, your wife, your daughter, or whatever. You think this 13-year-old should just be spending time in jail for a couple of years and be out like nothing ever happened? Or if this same 13-year-old went out and unalived your daughter, your mom, your sister, your brother, whatever, you think this 13-year-old deserves to be out of detention center at 21 when your family member didn't get that opportunity? It doesn't matter if it's fully developed or not. The thing is, listen, if you have enough mental capacity to figure out that you should take out a GUN to rob someone, to unalive somebody because you mad at them, or because you want something they have, or something like that, it's fully developed enough to stand, you know, to be held accountable for what you just did, point blank. Not throwing them in no prison like adult prison, but just in a detention center should go further. And then after the kid gets 21, if a child has unalived somebody and it's not self-defense, yeah, they should go into regular prison after 21. Yeah, they should. Because see, people say all of these things until a 16-year-old unalive, one of their relatives. See, the person they unalive, like in this case of this dudes, the three men that he unalive because he wanted to rob them, he tricked them out to the field or whatever and said that he wanted to show them a Glock switch. When they got out there, he wanted to rob these people, so he unalived them. That's cold-blooded murderer. All right, he know good and damn well what he was doing. He knew that. I have a 16-year-old son. He is no way thinking about taking somebody out to no field to rob them and unalive them. All right? Listen, that applies in every case, but that doesn't mean that we have to we that doesn't mean we can't, you know, change laws, okay? And make it, a little bit tougher. Okay, because if we use that, what you just said, Jermaine, then shit, a future, a lot of people are not going to have a future because people like this little boy right here is going to take that future away from them. Yeah, it's going to be some people that's going to abuse certain privileges and do certain things and all this other stuff. But what about the people that are not? What about the people who are losing their loved ones, family, friends? So letting a child be in prison just until they, not prison, but in juvenile detention center until they get 21, and then let them out like nothing ever happened, like they did with this dude who unalive the rapper, what's his name? Pop Smoke. Now I don't think that's right. You take a life, your life should be taken some. Okay? For grown-ups, it should be taken all away. But for a kid that, if you're a kid, you did something, it should still be taken some. You need to be in regular, after you turn 21, you need to be sent right to regular prison. They can determine how many years, then. But I don't think they should be released like that when they turn 21. Because some kids do know what they're doing. Listen, let me tell you something. It is tougher on black youth, but you also got to look at parenting. All right, we just cannot blame everything on because somebody's black. Okay, let's keep it real. Some parents do not do their jobs. Let's not even overlook that. Parents need to do their jobs as a parent and make sure that they're there to give their kids um, the training, the guidance, the love, the attention, everything they need. Let them know right from wrong. You got some damn parents out here doing criminal activities. All right, getting high with their kids, drinking with their kids, stealing, unaliving, and doing all types of weird shit. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a no no. That is definitely a damn no no. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Jay, for it. You're so sweet, hon. We got about like 15 more minutes, then I'm gonna be out of here, okay? But anyway, but yeah, Jermaine, yeah. Again, excuse me. Parents need to do their jobs. And yeah, you got some that do their jobs and their kids still end up doing bad things, but you also have to look at something else. You know, you got to look at something else. That something else is this right here. A parent can do a good job, but if they're living in certain areas, then they get enticed by people in that area. But see, that's why me as a parent believe in, you know, if you have to work 2, 3 jobs to get yourself out of a situation to get into a better area to live in, I believe you should do it as a parent. Okay. I really, truly do. I really do think you need to do that. You need to do what it takes. Not nothing illegal or immoral, but what it takes. Work. I did it with mine before I got married. I don't want my kids growing up in the hood and going to tripped out schools and things like that. Because when you get them out of a certain situation, it decreases their chances of doing certain things. Let's keep it real. That's why I firmly believe in, you know, planning somewhat before you have children, having your stuff somewhat together. And just say you don't. Hey, when you find out you're pregnant, it's time to step it up some. You got 9 months to prepare for a child. All right, 9 months. So that's when you need to start preparing for it. I still say I think parents are some of the reasons why these kids be doing what they do. And I think they should start holding some of these parents accountable in certain situations. This little 16-year-old boy sat up here and concocted this whole damn thing up to lure 3 men out to a field pretending that he want to show them a Glock switch to change a semi-automatic into a machine gun. He gets them out there and he already had it planned, was premeditated, that he wanted to unalive these people, rob them, unalive them, then rob them. And he did do that. He unalived these 3 dudes. So if you think this dude should have gotten out once he reached 21, I don't agree with you. And I'm glad his ass is going to regular prison now. They did it right with this dude. They did it right. Even though he kind of messed up himself because let me tell you something. They did let him out. Let's see. He was 16 when he unalived them, okay? Then he was found guilty of 3. Listen, hold on. He was 16 when he unalived them. Hold on, let me go down some. He unalived a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, and 22-year-old. All these 3 people's lives got cut short. He took them to a field with tall grasses, all right? And that's where he shot all 3 of them, okay? In text messages, the police found out that he lured these men into the field over 2 nights to show them how that Glock switch works. Okay? That's when he used the opportunity to unalive these men so he can rob them. Now, hold on. Let's see what goes. Hold on. So in 2022, let's go back. In 2022, a judge threw out some key evidence after ruling detectives violated this dude's 4th Amendment rights during a search warrant. Then they released this little boy from jail and put a GPS ankle monitor on him. But this dodo bird went on Snapchat showing photos of himself with a GUN in drugs. And detectives saw that. So they put his ass back in jail. So, you know, he has a criminal mindset, period. Period. So they left his ass in jail until they started the new trial, right? Which lasted 5 days, and they found his ass guilty, as they should have. And now, since he's 19, now he's sentenced and probably will spend the rest of his life. He is in prison. He will be spending the rest of his life in prison. So the judge threw out his thing in 2022, some key evidence. Okay. And then he was released and had a GPS monitor on, I guess, to finish out his sentence. But then the little boy effed up when he did a photo with a GUN in drugs. So he hadn't changed himself. He didn't get rehabilitation. What is it called? Rehabilitation. I think that's what you call it. Rehabilitation. He didn't get none of that type of stuff. All right. Well, if he did get it, it didn't work. Remember, though, he was 16 when he committed these acts. The judge gave him another opportunity. And what does he do? He gets right on Snapchat with photos of himself with a GUN and drugs. So then they put his ass right back in jail until his case. So when he went to trial, they found him guilty of unaliving all of these people, period, as he should be. So in some cases, these damn kids who unalive grown-ups, anybody, it could be another child, they need to be incarcerated. They need to be incarcerated. Whether they have to stay in the regular juvenile detention center until they get 21, 23, or whatever the age limit is, 25 or whatever. After that, they need to let them spend some time in regular prison, point blank. You don't just get to take people's lives, okay? I don't give a damn how old you are. You don't just get to take people's lives unless it's self-defense. All lives are valuable. It does not matter how old a person is when they take it. It shouldn't be taken, because I guarantee you, if people were in the same shoes as these people parents are, these three men, you wouldn't be saying that. You got to think about all sides of the story, okay? All sides. All right? Yes, black people be taken advantage of in justice system. So are Latino people, homeless people, be taken advantage, of, and things like that. But still, a lot of people who are not taken advantage of, they are just where they need to be at when they are in prison. Let's keep it real. They are just where they need to be at. We're not talking about innocent people. We're not talking about people who may have did a little petty crime or something like that. Police unalive them. We're not talking about these type of people. We're talking about real damn criminals. It's always some casualties, and we hate to say that, but it is. But that doesn't mean you have to not do certain things to deter stuff from happening. If we did that shit, it'd be criminals walking all around doing all types of shit. What they need to do is retrain these damn police officers, hire better police officers, give them mental evaluations every so often, and make sure, at least try to decrease the chances of police officers doing what they're doing, and train their asses and retrain them. That's what they really need to do. But at the same time, they do need to change some of these damn laws. Let's keep it real. And parents need to be parents. Let's keep that real too. You make children, you have children, you have to take care of them and show them a good role model, because you can't be getting high with your kids. Okay, you can't be drinking with your kids. You can't be showing your kids how to be a fucking thug and a gangster and a criminal, and then you expect for them to be not take after you. You can't be out here child abusing your kids and shit and neglecting them. We didn't say charge them as an adult. This is you taking words and making it, to mean what you want to be. What I said is that when a child over like 12 and up does like grown up crimes, they need to, you know, give them tougher penalties. Okay. I said they can stay in juvenile detention center until they get 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, whatever the age limit is. And then they do need to move them on to a grown facility because they are grown. Why are you covering up for these kids? Okay. They are grown. They are grown. Okay. When your ass get 21, you're a grown ass man or woman. If you can go out here and do whatever else you want to do, okay, you can go out here and unalive people, then you should be held accountable. Okay, point blank. I know, most hate it. Yeah, so you should be held accountable because heaven forbid if one day one of your family members or children or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you got is unalive by a little fucking 16-year-old thug. And so you think he just is supposed to stay in jail until he's 21 and then get out? Because if this little dude right here wouldn't have done what he did, he would be still out. And then when he go around and unalive somebody else, he tricks them to a place and do the same thing. It could be your family member. And then you're gonna just, change your mind about what you said. No, kids don't need to be in a grown person prison. Nobody ever said that. What I said is that they need to be held accountable. If you do a grown person crime, you need to face the damn time like a grown person, not in a grown person's facility. They can stay in detention center until they get to the age where they transport them to a, regular prison. Because a lot of times these kids get out and they be right back into doing the same thing again years later. And then some innocent person gets unalive. And then you see their parents or whatever, or friends or whatever on TV or whatever crying. Then everybody want to say justice. Do justice before by stopping these people from doing all this shit. And that's on everything. Because once a person is gone, they're gone. They can't be brought back alive. And that's just on everything. You need to do stuff. I'm not putting words in your mouth. You just said what you said, and I said what I said. Okay. You can't bring people back once they're gone. Okay. So you have to stop it before people are gone. And the only way we can stop stuff is by making stuff harsher and for parents to do their damn jobs. Point blank. And until that is done, we are going to see kids doing more and more crazy shit. And that's just all it is. I mean, that's just where it is. That's what you're going to be seeing. Hold on, let me look at some real quick. Now I'm going to read a couple of these comments because I want to see what the people in the comment sections are saying. Let me go back to that story. Jermaine, do you have any kids? So let's read some of these comments. Okay. So one commenter said, get this, after he unalived 3 people, they let him out of jail and on an ankle monitor. What the F? He then proceeded to post social media pictures of him with guns and drugs. Amazing. Again, that's because these damn penalties for younger people, kids, are not tough enough. All right, let's keep it real. Y'all stop being naive. It's not tough enough. Listen, if your kids are not thugs, okay, and doing criminal activities, you really don't have to worry too much about it, right? Right. Okay. But what you do have to worry about is one of these thugs going around unaliving your child. Always remember that, or your relative. And then they go to juvenile detention center, right? And they get out at 21 or 22 or 23. And then they proceed to do this again to somebody else. That's what you got to worry about. James said our prosecutors need to go to jail for a long time, along with some of the parents of these cold-blooded killers. And I agree. I just told y'all before, they need to start holding some parents, not all, but some parents accountable for their kids' actions. I'm talking about those unfit parents who sit around here and encourage their children to go out here and be murderers and things like that. Somebody said they totally agree. The judges and parents needs to be held for murder along with idiot, dumb 16-year-old monsters. Piece of S. Let's see here. Hold on, let me see what else they got here. Somebody said, I beg to differ. He is a serial iller. He didn't unalive 3 men in one night. He unalived 3 men altogether in 2 separate incidents. He definitely is a listen. 16-year-old serial iller. She said if he wasn't stopped, he would have kept on illing, hence serial iller. And I agree. Uh, Thank you, J4. Again, the thing is, we all can stand for what we believe. That's right. Um, Again, if they wouldn't have stopped him, he was going to continue to do this. This is why he was posting pictures on Snapchat with a GUN and with drugs. This little boy did not learn. He did not learn his lesson. Somebody said, wow, that was some cold shit to do to someone. He needs to stay in prison with all the other crazy and evil people. He's going to be a toy for the boys. Now, I don't agree with this right here because I don't believe that, the DEATH penalty, in some cases I do believe in it, but in a lot of cases I don't. So let me just go ahead and read this. Somebody said this is just one of the many reasons why every US state should have the what penalty. Yes, it may cost a bit more than having some of our tax money paying for his housing costs, especially since he will be spending the rest of his life in prison. Okay. Okay, somebody said at 16, nobody will remember who he is. He won't grow into a normal person of society. He will get real hard. He won't understand the outside world. People will always be told what he did before any communication. His brains may have developed into the video game world. They will go after the guardians. I don't know what this weirdo is talking about. Okay, but I kind of I think I know what he's saying, but I don't know. Um, um, Even if he was 20 something, I don't think people will remember who he is. Okay, that's the first thing. Let's see. He won't grow into a normal person of society. He will get real hard. Yeah, he won't understand the outside world. People will always be told what he did before any communication. What? People will always be told what he did. Okay, before any communication with him. Okay, well, anyway, John, I don't know what you're talking about in all this. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't even want to go into it. Let's see. Okay, so somebody said the definition of pure evil. Why is he still breathing? Okay, another person said he needs to be thrown in a gas chamber. Okay, Manny said, well, little guy, they are waiting for you in prison. You will have a boyfriend in no time. I know that's right, John. You right on target. He said the issue here is not gun control. The issue here is the creation of monsters. He was remorseless in his act, and then he was let out on house arrest. Yeah, because he was young, underage. That's why they did that. Hold on. This easy on violent crime is the issue. I told you, 16 years or not, he should be on you know what row. How is this all considered acceptable? Where are the rights of the victims and their families? And I say the same thing. I don't think he needs to be on F penalty, but I do think that he should have never been let out of jail. Point blank. The detention He should have stayed there. Okay, forget all this house arrest and all this bull crap. He should have still been in there. And then when he turned 21, 22, 23, because I think they stayed it to like to about 23. I'm not sure. Then they could have went on and put him into regular prison system. All right, because he took 3 lives. He needed to be in there for life. Period. For life. And somebody said he was released into the supervision of the ones that created the monster, and I agree. Ooh, this dude right here said he probably did society a favor. Those 3 guys wanting to turn guns into machine guns weren't choir boys. He should have used that as his defense. Well, he can't use that as a defense unless the dudes was trying to unalive him. Then he could have used that as self-defense, but he couldn't because he actually used premeditation. He actually thought about it, planning and everything like that. So he basically lured them out to do just what he did. He knew by saying that he's changing these things into this semi into a what is it called? A machine gun. He knew that people would be interested in that, those guys. Okay, not saying because they interested in that they are illers. Some people are just like, GUNs for whatever purpose. So they went out there. And like somebody said, they said, are you delusional? It doesn't matter what those men were going to do with the GUNs because they are now unalive. This little girly boy is responsible, but he's in the right place now. I already see through your bullshit and trying to justify the illings is wrong. I know that's right, Lady Lay. Okay. Now, what is this person talking about? This world is so corrupt. I cannot wait till my gods come back and take over their planet. Okay. Then somebody else said there is only one God. And I agree. There is only one God. Somebody said crazy, but I don't believe for 1 second that this kid wanted to rob anyone. He looks like his own shadow scares him. I bet the first night he couldn't even get the switch on the back plate right. So he went and relearned. And then the second night, he most likely couldn't handle the record and accidentally shot them, which could have easily happened. And then he probably took some stuff to try to make it seem like something else happened. Either that or he's just a plain cold blooded. He's he's look, he's just a what? He's just a plain cold-blooded and mellied his homies. Okay. Well. He's really just a cold-blooded little boy. Okay, let's keep it real. Okay, he accidentally do a damn thing. He did it all on purpose. He planned everything out, point blank, and then went back and did some more shit. J4 said, Jermaine, I understand what you're saying, but the youth are going to be targets either way because of the one strike they will never be able to get rid of. The parents have to have a bigger influence, and I agree, and be more impactful than the temptation, peer pressure, and distractions that the youth will encounter to some degree, and learn from mistakes and mistakes of others. And I agree with all you just said, J4. That's exactly what I was saying in different type of words. Parents need to be parents. They also need to be held accountable. At least some do. Not every single one of them, but it just depends on the situation. But definitely held accountable because the first people who groom the kids up to be what they are let me use another word, who mold the children up to be what they are the parents. Okay, you learn these are your first role models, your first example, and things like that. Of what you know um you should be like as you grow into a productive citizen. All right, point blank. We can't sit here and keep on blaming video games and shit because a lot of kids play video games, but they're not out unaliving people. Okay, in raping women and men, things like that. They're not out there doing that. Okay, so again, parents need to be parents. Okay, stop using excuses all the damn time for these damn kids out here doing these crazy ass crimes, because you never know. Your parent, your children, your daughters, your sons, your brothers, sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your friend, your lover, or whatever, your wife, your husband, whatever, could be one of those kids' targets in the future. Okay. good conversation y'all having in this chat. Okay. The thing about it, parents, they are the victims, okay? But the thing is that this right here, that is because you're a victim doesn't mean you go out and unalive people, okay? It's a lot of kids grew up with bad parenting, but they're not out here unaliving people. They're not out here raping people, okay? They're not doing this. It's a lot of kids that have been abused, all types of stuff, even the other thing, all types of stuff, and they're not out here unaliving people. This boy is a cold-blooded murderer. And he's right where he deserves to be. I don't give a damn how innocent he looks. A lot of innocent people are dangerous. Okay, innocent looking people. I mean, they're very dangerous. They do crazy shit. Let's keep it real. That's why they say wolves come in sheep clothing, because a lot of times these wolves be kids. Okay, let's keep it real. Shit, and that's just on everything. And they be looking sweet and innocent, but they are unalive your ass in a minute. Okay, they will unalive your ass in a minute. And that's on everything. And I'm glad justice was served on this little boy. I'm really am. And my condolences are expressed out to the people's families who were unalive. And my prayers are extended out, to them. But yeah, I'm glad this little hoodlum is gone to prison. Okay, I'm glad he got up there on Snapchat and show his, his drugs. All right, he's where he should be at. Okay, so anyway, if let me know in the comments if you agree with some of the stuff I said, or if you agree with some of these things here that I put up on the screen regarding what Jermaine is saying as well. Okay. Now, let me go over here and look at this real quick. So all this week, guys, I'm going to be telling you guys about some of these kids be doing bad things, okay? Now, before I go, let me just go ahead and give y'all a couple of breaking news real quick. J4 said bad parenting doesn't guarantee the kids will go down the same road. You have those smart enough to make decisions and have a mind of their own to avoid going down the hand. Bad parenting just increases the chances, but not a guarantee. Right. And that's exactly what I said earlier. Okay. Sometimes you can be a good ass parent and your kids still take that wrong road. It just all depends, But a lot of the times, if you are doing great as a parent, your kids are going to make the right choices. Even if they do end up doing something bad, they end up turning back around. Okay? So let me go ahead and just do a couple of breaking news real quick, and then we're going to get ready to go out of here, and I'm going to tell you one money thing, and then we're going to get ready to go out of here. Okay, guys? Okay. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. So anyway, a 4-year-old, y'all, was stabbed multiple times in a home. Police continue to investigate, all right? Let's tell y'all about that real quick. So on Sunday, a little girl, 4 years old, was stabbed multiple times at her New Jersey's home. The father of the young victim says she's fighting for her life, and the attack left him dumbfounded. So again, the child remains in stable condition at St. Joseph's University Medical Center, where she is being treated for puncture wounds to her lung and liver and an injured diaphragm, according to her family. She could not respond because she had tubes and everything down her, but she opened her eyes, and when she heard my voice, she started making eye contact, trying to see me. And her mom said that brought her joy. Actually, it was the girl's father who said that, okay? Hold on. The little girl name is Amber, too. Now, that stabbing happened at about 4 p.m. on Friday in Paterson, New Jersey, according to the Passaic County Prosecutor's Office. Officers were called to the home for a domestic dispute and found the child stabbed multiple times. Anyway, police did not identify the suspect. However, they are looking for the child's aunt in connection with the incident. The aunt was babysitting Amber while the girl's mother was at the home caring for another child. This is according to relatives. That's crazy, man. Anyway, the little girl had a big gash on her forehead, and her mom was holding her, obviously, and she had like a blanket or some or a towel covered wrapped around her head and stuff. This is crazy, y'all. They still are looking for a motive for the stabbing. They do not know what the motive is at the time of this article was written. Okay, but anyway, that's a damn shame. I don't know how old the aunt is either, because they didn't put all that information here. But anyway, my prayers are extended out to the little girl and to her family, and hopefully she made a full recovery. Again, we got all these crazy things happening to kids as well as kids committing these crimes. Again, I don't know how old this little aunt is. They did not say. Hopefully she isn't a kid too, but yeah. Okay. Okay, let me give y'all one more news article and then I'll do that. And then that's gonna be it, y'all. So yeah, that's a damn shame, y'all. But I just definitely wanted to let you guys know about that. And if I get an update on that, I will let you guys know. So let me just tell y'all about Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson, who is 82, he is trapped in a wheelchair, struggling to eat and being minded around the clock. I guess mended around the clock by nurses and two aides. So that's tripped out, y'all. Let's see what they're saying real quick. They say he also struggles to eat. He's very frail. And they spotted him in a wheelchair in a darkening restaurant at the Hyatt Regency McCormick Place during the final day of the Democratic National Convention. He's just getting old. I don't know why they always be saying stuff when they know people old as shit. 82 is pretty old. They say he tried to eat a breakfast of strawberries, grapes, and cantaloupe. They say he would stab his fork into a piece of fruit, but take 5 to 10 seconds to reach his lips. He would allegedly get stuck in that position, caught halfway, but he kept working on it. Okay. So anyway, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2017. That is a neurodegenerative disease. He also had to step down as president of the Rainbow Push Coalition. Like, I'm gonna say that wrong. You know what I mean? Last year, and they fight for progressive social change. Okay. They say he has slow speech now and struggles to get a soft, blurring, and indistinct word out. So yeah, he's just getting old, y'all. He's 82, almost damn 90. Yeah, he's almost 90. I don't know what they expect. So he also had CV back in 2021. Okay. But anyway, he's like I say, he's 80 something, 82. So I mean, what do you expect? He's old. So just our prayers are extending out to Jesse Jackson and our blessings. That's all we can really say, because again, he is getting older and older and older. It's a blessing to live to be 82, but he is getting older, and what do they expect? Okay. Things change up when you get that old. Okay. I don't know why they even talk about it. Okay, so that's it with breaking news, y'all. One more, let me give y'all one money thing, and then I'm getting ready to get out of here. So, a way you can make some extra money. Let's see. Hold on, let me get it real quick. I told you guys I was gonna give you one every day. I got the first finally damn article. So hold on, shit. If I can damn find it. I thought I saved it, y'all. Man. Let's see. Hold on for 1 second. Let me just see. I don't know if I thought I saved it. Cause see, sometimes when I be stopping at the light, I'll save shit. But if the light turns back on green, I may forget to go ahead and save it, all the way. And so it don't stay there. Damn, what did I do with the damn thing? I didn't even keep it. So I'll just tell you straight up, one way to make some extra money, y'all, if y'all is into, doing those playing them damn games online, and they claim that they will pay you if you do certain games. But I'm gonna have to tell you guys more about it tomorrow because I don't know what the hell I did with these the site that I had earlier. I thought I had saved it and I clearly didn't. I hate when I do this, y'all. So what I'll do is just give you two tomorrow, okay? Because I definitely do not see it. I'm gonna have to look them up again because I need to tell you guys the site to go to play the games and things like that. I still don't see it. I must have did not save this shit. One more thing, you have a teen mother, her premature baby, and her relative, y'all, who I don't know if she's still missing, but she was missing. Okay, just to let you guys know that. Let's see. And the little baby has a heart condition too, who needs her medication. They went missing from East LA. All right. They said they was last seen on Sunday at 10 p.m. in the 5200 block of East Huntington Drive. Now, the little girl is 14 years old. Her name is Amora Brown. She has a 3-week-old daughter, Amora Brown, and her sister-in-law, Sanaya Brown, who is 15. They were last seen on Sunday at 10. And they claim that the girls may be headed to Victorville. So yes, hopefully that they do have these kids back home or whatever the case is. They say anyone with any information on the girls are urged to contact Holenbeck Division Detective J. Ryder at 213-479-2827 or dial 911. Again, J. Ryder, Detective J. Ryder, RIDER, at 213-479-2827. So, like I said, you can also contact the LA Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477 or go to lacrimestoppers.org. All right. So hopefully they are found now. I don't know for sure. But at the time when this article came out, they were still missing. Again, it's 3 children, basically. One is Amora Brown, which is the mom, 14 years old, her 3-week-old daughter, Amora Brown, and her sister-in-law, Sanaya Brown, 15. All right. And the little baby has a heart situation going on and needs medication every single day. So hopefully they are found. I don't know for sure. Let me see if anybody said that in the comments section. Oh, they too busy talking about this little girl having a 3-week-old. Okay, so like I said, hopefully they are found and stuff. Maybe I'll look it up to see and let you guys know tomorrow. All right. So hey to Blanco Smoke, what's up with you? I'm done now, but we was talking about Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. The judge ruled that it was her boyfriend's fault why she was unalived in 2020. However, I beg to differ because they went there on a falsified warrant. Okay. So if they would have never been there, it would have never happened. Plus, Brianna and her boyfriend were asleep when the police came in, and they did not hear them and know who it was. They just thought it was home invasion. And so he jumped up and grabbed his gun and started shooting, like most people would probably do if they think somebody is trying to is breaking in, because they was basically already in. So the judge did rule that. He also did some other things, but you have to go back and watch the live, or either go look up the case and you'll see it. All right. And then we talked about the 16-year-old who lured three grown men into a field and he unalived them and robbed them. Okay, so we talked about that as well. So that's what you missed. All right. Other than that, y'all, yeah, he's 82 years old. What do you expect? You're right. Damn, you're gonna be you're gonna be like, getting more and more closer to unalive point when you start getting older. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting 80, just basically you do it every day. But certainly it speeds up as you start aging. As you start, getting older. Old like that. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, let's go ahead and do roll call, y'all. Then we're gonna get ready to get out of here because it's like 2:50. I gotta go take a shower real quick. I want to say thank you to J4. Thank you so much, J4, for providing your input and all of that. I appreciate you, hon. I want to say thank you to Jermaine. Thank you so much, Jermaine, for doing the same thing, providing all your input and stuff. I appreciate you, hon. John in the Bush, thank you so much for coming by showing support. I appreciate you too. Let me see. Young Riz, he stopped by showing some support and love. Thank you so much, Young Riz. Who else? Street Poor came by, stopped by. Thank you so much, Street Poor. I appreciate you. Most Hated Bronze came by, showed some support, little input. Thank you so much, Bronze. I appreciate you. Nightbot always doing his job. I appreciate my Nightbot. Okay, let me see what's by these circles here. See, I can't do that on here. I don't know why it doesn't show up on mine. It's right here. Yeah, I don't see nowhere where it make you a mine. I got to do it through the other way. Yeah, because it's not on here. I don't know why. It just says delete comment, put user in timeout, ban users, and delete their comments. I don't know why that shows up. Maybe I'll check it a different way. Then I want to say, let's see who else came in. Blanket Smoke, thank you so much for stopping by, showing support. I'm about to check you out too. Y'all make sure y'all show Blanket Smoke some love and support as well. And also show Young Riz the same. Bronze the same. Street Poet the same. And that's it. And I have another one to give you guys, but I'm gonna give you guys that tomorrow because I gotta get the actual site so I can make sure I don't get it wrong. YouTube, Blanco, thank you so much. All right, thanks to everybody in the bushes that watched this tonight. I hope you enjoyed this live, and thanks to everybody who watches this in the replay. Y'all, make sure in the comment section if you want to provide input. Just tell me if you agree with the judge ruling on Breonna Taylor's case. Also, if you do agree with it, why? All right. And also let me know about the 16-year-old case, the 16-year-old who lured the three grown men into the field. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think that they need to toughen the juvenile laws? Basically, if a juvenile unalives someone, on purpose, do you think that they need to remain in juvenile detention until they're 21, 23, and then once they are old enough, transported to just a regular prisons or jail? Do you think they need to? Or do you think they should continue to let these kids out because their brain is not developed and they don't know what they're doing? Which one do you think? All right, just let me know in the comment section. All right. Again, guys, if you want to show support to this channel, you can do a Cash App to $ShadesTube. Also, don't forget to thumbs up. I think I forgot to say that earlier. Okay, I think I did. Don't forget to thumbs up this content. this video if you enjoyed this content. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and hit that bell notifications so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell, share, and leave a comment. All right. Other than that, y'all, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna have a very good live again, talk about another exciting topic. My condolences to everybody who lost family members, friends, or whatever, and my prayers are with you guys as well. And also my prayers are extended out to everybody who is a victim of a crime. Okay. All right. And the people like the little girl I just talked about, hopefully she is recovered and things like that. Not unalive. That's what I'm trying to say. She probably is not fully recovered, but hopefully she's making improvements, and fighting, and things like that. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think that's it. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow or later on tonight. And you guys have a great Tuesday and blessings. This is Shay's Tube. Peace out, y'all. Thank you so much. Oh my God. I've got to get this up here. Let's see. Thank you, Jermaine, for the compliment, and you too, J4. Thank y'all so much. And you too, Blanco. You have a good night too. Okay, y'all take care.